Ever wondered why vast remote regions of America are practically deserted? Despite being home to millions, some states remain eerily empty, with whole towns vanishing into thin air. In this video, we're uncovering the top 7 most abandoned states in the US and revealing the surprising and often shocking reasons why people fled these once thriving areas. Welcome to Histovix era, where we uncover the hidden stories of forgotten places and mysterious histories. Ever wondered why some parts of America are eerily empty while others are packed? I've driven through stretches of land where entire towns seem to have disappeared. In today's video, we'll explore the top 7 most abandoned states in the US, places that once thrived but now stand in silence. From economic downturns to harsh climates, these states have all faced dramatic changes. Which one do you think is the most abandoned? Stay tuned to find out why these regions faded into obscurity and the shocking truths behind their decline. State 1. Alaska. Alaska, America's largest state, yet one of its most sparsely populated. At first glance, it might seem like the last frontier would be a bustling, thriving land. But the truth is, over 50% of Alaska's population lives in just a few major cities. The rest of the state is largely uninhabited. Why? Extreme weather conditions, including long, dark winters, and the lack of modern infrastructure in many parts, make it difficult for people to settle. Add in Alaska's remoteness, and it's easy to see why many choose not to live there. You know that Alaska is so remote. There are villages with no roads connecting them to the outside world. People there rely heavily on planes and boats to get around. State 2. Montana. Next up is Montana, a state known for its stunning landscapes and wide open spaces. Despite its beauty, Montana struggles with low population density. With only about 1 million residents, it's one of the least populated states. Its economy once boomed during the mining and railroad days, but when these industries collapsed, many of the smaller towns went with them. The state's vast mountain ranges and rural nature make it harder for people to stay. Few modern industries and limited job opportunities push people to move away in search of work. During the 1800s, Montana saw a huge influx of settlers due to the gold rush. But once the gold was gone, so were many of the settlers. Today, much of the state remains unchanged and largely empty. State 3. Wyoming. Wyoming, often referred to as the least populated state, has only about 580,000 residents, yet it's one of the largest states in America. Why the emptiness? Wyoming's isolation, extreme weather, and reliance on industries like coal and oil have kept the population low. When the coal mines closed and energy prices fluctuated, many towns were left deserted. Additionally, the state's harsh winters and remote nature discourage settlement. The few who live here enjoy solitude, but for most, it's too rugged to call home. Fun fact: Wyoming's largest city, Cheyenne, has fewer people than many suburban neighborhoods in other states. It's a true example of wide open spaces, but with no one to fill them. State 4. North Dakota, the state where the population is spread out and small towns reign. Although it had a recent boom due to oil production, the population still remains low compared to its vast landmass. The oil boom brought workers to cities like Williston, but the lack of infrastructure and harsh winters quickly made life difficult. Before the oil, the state's economy was based mainly on agriculture, and as farming became more automated, many rural areas were abandoned. Did you know North Dakota's population density is only around 11 people per square mile? Compare that to New Jersey, where it's about 100 people per square mile. State 5. South Dakota. South Dakota shares many similarities with its northern neighbor: low population and vast open plains. But there's something unique here. South Dakota has a history tied deeply to Native American tribes. And today, much of the state's rural areas have been left behind by modern industries. The Great Plains are beautiful, but they can also be unforgiving, especially in the winter months. South Dakota's economy, once focused on farming, has seen rural depopulation, with many towns turning into ghost towns after resources were depleted. Some towns in South Dakota have been abandoned for decades. One of them, White Owl, was once a thriving community with a post office, school, and general store, but now only a handful of homes remain standing. State 6, Nebraska. Nebraska has long been the heart of America's agricultural industry, but as farming techniques modernized and the population shifted to cities for work, much of the rural land became desolate. Nebraska's low population and lack of major industries outside Omaha and Lincoln make it a hard place for people to live. Extreme weather, including tornadoes and heavy snowstorms, also discourages settlement. Nebraska is home to the Sandhills, a region so sparsely populated that there are more cattle than humans in some areas. It's a region where nature reigns and people are few. State 7, West Virginia. Finally, we arrive at West Virginia, a state that's seen both highs and lows. Historically, it was a coal mining powerhouse. However, when the coal industry declined, so did much of the state's population. The once thriving mining towns are now ghost towns, and West Virginia struggles to find new industries to replace its fading coal economy. With the rise of automation, many jobs that once supported the state's population were lost, leaving entire communities behind. Despite the empty towns, West Virginia is known for its rugged beauty and rich cultural heritage. But it's a harsh reminder of how quickly an entire region can be abandoned due to economic shifts. So, what's the common thread between these states? Extreme climates, the decline of once thriving industries, and the move toward urbanization have all contributed to their emptiness. Whether it's the collapse of mining towns, the rise of agriculture automation, or the harsh winters, these states show how quickly regions can be left behind when the economic foundation crumbles. America may be full of bustling cities and tech hubs, but these abandoned states tell a different story. One of isolation, resilience, and the ever-changing landscape of our country. Who knew that such large portions of the U.S. could remain untouched? These abandoned regions are like time capsules of the past, holding stories that many have forgotten. Which state surprised you the most, and why? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let us know if you've visited any of these places. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to keep up with more fascinating explorations. For more eye-opening stories about abandoned places around the world, check out our other videos. Keep exploring with Histovix Era, and we'll see you in the next one.